Everybody keeps saying that we're getting older. And yes, we are aging. That's normal. But let me tell you something. Some people age and some people get old. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. Well, we're all aging, and that's normal. But there is a big difference between aging and getting old. Right here in my own community and on my own street out there, I know people in their 80s and even 90s that are still fully engaged, fully present, and participate in their lives. I also know people in their 60s that seem like they've already checked out. So in today's video, I want to talk about some of the choices that we make that are quietly making us old, long before our time. The first point I want to make is they stop being curious. Some of us don't want to learn anymore. We don't want to grow. We don't want to improve our routines. We stop asking questions. If you don't have curiosity in your life, you have no drive or zest for life to move forward. I think all of us can learn new things every day, right from inside our own homes. I know I like to research different things. My curiosity is with me every day. I'll think of something and then wonder what it means or how it works. And then I start researching it. That keeps my mind going and it keeps me on the right track. The second point, they talk more about the past than the future. Now, don't get me wrong, memories are absolutely wonderful. And we're all surrounded by them through all the years we've been on this earth. Living in the past can become a trap. It's fine to visit your memories, to reminisce, but don't live there. You might have heard of people that lived their life in the rearview mirror. It's always behind them. That was their life, and they feel that's their life now. That's not true. Your life is whatever it is today, and then whatever you make it going forward. So enjoy the past, appreciate it, but don't live there. I know a lot of older people that complain about the price of bread or the price of milk. And they want to have this whole conversation about how they can remember when a loaf of bread was 25 cents. And I understand that, but those days are gone. Bread isn't 25 cents now. It hasn't been for a long time, and it never will be again. So that's what I mean about living in the past. It is what it is today. So a way of having forward thinking is thinking, well, bread is now whatever, $3 a loaf. So let me see how I can work that into my budget. Get out of the past. It's a dead end. The third point, they give up on how they carry themselves and even how they care for themselves. Some people just kind of walk slower through life. And I'm not saying you have to hurry or run or do anything like that. But, take each step with persistence. Take each step with conviction that you're going somewhere, if it's just from one room to the other. Try to keep your shoulders back and your posture right. I think about that every day. I find myself in a posture that isn't right for me. So I have to be conscious of holding myself up. That doesn't mean I'm going to be that way every day, but I need to be conscious of it. And as far as taking care of ourselves, we still want to look nice. We still want to get dressed for our day, whether that's, work in the yard clothes, just an old t-shirt and old shorts, or whatever it is. But to not even dress for the day, to just stay in your pajamas, which is okay occasionally, but I mean, don't let that be your everyday life. We also take care of ourselves by finding ways that we can move through our life. Some of us are more mobile than others. Doesn't matter what your situation is. But always be thinking ahead with you at top of your mind that you're caring for yourself in whatever way you need to, whatever way matters to you. The next point is they let their routine become a rut. Now, I am a very routine type of girl. I know many of you are too. But if you let that routine get into a rut, you're going to lose a lot of joy in your life. You're just going to do what you have to do to kill time during the day, to go to bed and just get up another day and do it again. Don't let that happen to you. There are many ways that we can keep our routines fresh and keep us from getting in that rut. So say you're running the sweeper and you're running it in every room. You don't just have to then walk out of the room and you're done. Decide something you can do in that room. Look around. That's what I do. I'll look around a room and think, how could I rearrange this furniture? Or I wonder if I could replace this lamp with a lamp I have in the bedroom. Or how can I redecorate in here or add a different color? Just something so that my routine doesn't become so mundane that it puts me in a rut. Because I love to be home, I love to be in my home, a lot of my life consists of being in this home, I have to keep my life exciting and uplifting and something to look forward to. And that's one of the ways I do it. I would love to know if you have certain ways that you do to keep your routine from becoming a rut. You know, us old girls can get very creative. And even just wiping off the kitchen countertops. Sometimes you just wipe them off because that's part of your routine. But then other times you think, I think I'm going to try moving the coffee pot way down to this end and rearrange the upper cabinets and put the coffee cups down there by the coffee pot. It doesn't matter what it is. Just don't get in the rut. Being in a rut will age you so quickly. You will get old. You definitely will. Because you don't care about anything anymore. You're not seeing anything. You're not taking the time to look around and see what you can do to kind of spice things up. If you just want to age and not get old, do something about that daily routine to keep it alive. The next point I want to make is they expect to decline. You know, why do we do that? Why do we feel like, oh, I'm 75, I'm 80, I'm 85, I'm heading downhill, life's going to start declining now? Well, maybe it will, maybe it won't. And if you already have ailments, which we all do, like arthritis, back problems, vision problems, mobility problems, well, just because we have those issues doesn't mean that we're declining and we're going to keep declining. You have to be careful what you're focused on, because the things you focus on in your mind, you will bring to you. And then that becomes your everyday focus. That becomes your new mindset, that you're going to keep going downhill. You're not. Don't think old. Think that there's always something ahead. Think that there's always something to be grateful for, that you can still do. That's how you'll age well. And the last point I'll make is they stop laughing. Laughter is such a big part of life, and I know we have talked about it here on this channel many times. But there are so many people that stop laughing, and when you stop laughing, you get old. That's a guarantee. And for those who live alone and you think, well, what do I have to laugh at? Laugh at yourself. I can laugh at myself all day long. Matter of fact, the other day I was answering a comment to one of my sweet subscribers, and then she wrote me back and said, "Oh, Sheila, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize your name was Sheena. I've been calling you Sheila." And I looked at that and I just cracked up at myself. I thought, oh my gosh, I don't even know my own name. Because when I wrote my comment, I signed it, Love Sheena. There's no Sheena in this house. And it just made me laugh. I laughed at myself. I can laugh at some of the silly things I do to make something happen. Like if I'm trying to put something together and it just isn't going together right, well, I'm not going to give up. I'll glue it. I'll tape it. I'll put a rubber band around it. I'll do whatever I have to do. Then I look at it and just crack myself up laughing. Talk to your grandchildren. Grandchildren always make you laugh. They always try to cheer you up and have fun things to say. So you can't say, I have nothing to laugh at in life. Oh, yes, you do. And I want to throw in a bonus point because I was thinking about it this morning, and that is people surrender. They surrender to their age. They don't look at age as the gift that it is. They just figure, well, I'm 75, I'm 80, whatever I am, and I'm just not going to be able to do this anymore. I can't dress this way anymore. I'm not young enough for that. That is not true. You're surrendering. You're surrendering to that old age mindset. Sure, there's things you can't do anymore, but there's plenty you can still do. You don't focus on what you can't do. And sure, you don't want to go out looking like a teenager, but you can wear whatever you want to wear. If you decide not to wear something, then that's a decision you made. But don't tell yourself that you can't wear it because you're too old. It all revolves around our mindset, our attitude, our positivity, and our spirit. We have to keep a youthful spirit. That spirit's going to be with us the rest of our lives and into eternity. Why would you surrender any parts of yourself that don't look forward, that aren't positive? Only a fool would do that. I have seen people in wheelchairs where a lot of parts on their body won't even move anymore. And say they're listening to music somewhere. They can't move their feet or their legs, but something moves, if it's just a finger. And their spirit is so alive. You would never say, oh, that's an old person over there. She got old. Oh, no, she didn't. Her head is just a bebopping to the music and her fingers are going, and she's so alive, so engaged, so present, and so joyful. We can all have that until our final breath. We just have to choose it because aging is inevitable, but getting old is a choice, and it's your choice to make. Well, now let's move on to an inside beauty tip. My inside beauty tip comes from Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Now, I have read this scripture before in past videos, but I had to use this scripture again because it really puts into perspective everything that I'm sharing in this video. First of all, the world may see us as old. You know, they may say, oh, she's gotten old, he's gotten old. They need to just sit down, be quiet, read a book. They have nothing to offer. Things like that. Well, that's this world. But if you transform your mind, that is the key to never getting old. By transforming your mind, you're saying, I'm not done yet. I can still contribute. I still have a lot to offer. I'm still here. You don't stay young in spirit by getting surgery to look better or new makeup or younger clothes or whatever it is. No, you stay young in spirit by knowing that you still have a purpose, that you are here because God has gifted you with another day of life. And what would His will be? It would be for you to enjoy that life, to live that life, to be present in that life. Renewing your mind doesn't mean you wake up and say, well, this is it. This is the beginning of the end. There's nothing else left for me. No, you wake up and say, this is a day that the Lord has made, and I'm going to participate in it. Staying mentally and spiritually alive isn't denial, it's obedience. If you think old, you will live old. God does not have us here to be sitting on the couch waiting to die. That's not our purpose. That's not why we're still here. We have been blessed to have the opportunity to still enjoy the gift of life, but we are expected to live it and live it the best way we can. I thank you so much for being here today. I truly do appreciate it. And until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya.